Good morning, everyone. Today we'll discuss about constructors. Okay, what does it mean by constructors? What is the need of constructors in Java? So these are the things we'll discuss right now. Okay. The first question: what is constructor? What is the purpose of the constructor? Okay, constructor also which is similar to method only. Constructor is the special method in Java which is used to initialize the instance variables of the class. Constructor is a special method in Java. A special method in Java which is used to initialize instance variables of the current class. Variables of Instance variables of the current class. Are you guys clear with my point? Constructor is a special method in Java which is used to initialize the instance variables of the current class. Okay. Here, okay. Hmm. First point is second. There is the first point, and second point is constructor name and class name should be the same. While declaring the constructor name and class name should be same. Should be same. How to whenever you are declaring the constructor, at the time have to mention constructor name and class name should be the same. Should be same. Okay. Next point I would say, when we are writing the constructor, when we are declaring the constructor, when we are writing the constructor 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 don't have any return type. Constructor don't have any return type. Don't have any return type. Okay. Any return type. I will show you how the syntax it should be. Normally, how will you write the classes, right? Normally you can write like this: public class. If I take the demo, right, and this is the scope of the class, right? Class is the keyword. I am creating the demo class. Okay. Okay. Constructor don't have any return type. Constructor don't have any return type, and this is the the class of, I would say, public class demo is, this is the scope of the class, right? Class is the keyword, demo is the class name, and inside the class I'm declaring the constructor. So whenever you are declaring the constructor, class name and constructor name should be the same. Okay. And so I am mentioning the demo and parenthesis. Why I am mentioning parenthesis? Constructor is also special method in Java. What is the difference between the methods and constructor? Constructor, we don't mention any return type. In the methods, we will mention the return type. Only that is the major difference. Remaining all are same. Here, the naming convention always in the method scenario, we can use any name. But in the constructor scenario, we have to use only class name only. Okay, class name and constructor name should be the same. Class name and constructors should be the same. What is the purpose of constructor meaning? Which is used to initialize the instance variables, where every class will, based on the requirement, we will take the instance variables. So how to initialize? You can initialize two ways. One is you can directly hard code like this, right? For example, int a equal to 10 comma int b equal to 20, right? This is the one way to initialize, and we have the another way with the using constructor also can initialize the instance variables. These are the two ways. Are you guys clear with my point? Okay, next here, what will happen basically? Constructor meaning, for example, whenever you are creating the object, so at the time of object creation, at the time of object creation, constructor will be executed. Constructor will be executed. Constructor will be executed. I will show you. Constructor will be executed. Okay. Creating the object meaning, calling the constructor. Creating the object meaning, calling the constructor. Calling the constructor. Calling the constructor. Normally, the syntax of the constructor basically, we will create the object, right? How will you create the object for this class? We will create objects like this. For example, where we will take the main method. Under the main method, we will take the new demo. If you see here, this name, I would say this constructor and this one, the both are same or not. So creating the object meaning, calling the constructor only. Creating the object meaning, calling the constructor only. Every object maintains copy of the instance variables. Whenever you are using the constructor, then you have to initialize the instance variables of the current class. Are you guys clear with my point? Constructor basically which is similar to method only. Here class name and constructor name should be the same, and class name and constructor name should be the same. Whenever you are creating the object, so object meaning calling the constructor only. Calling the constructor only. If you not mention the constructor, then the JVM will provide default constructor. JVM will provide default constructor. I will show you that one. For example, here I will take one file. I am creating one more file, that is demo.java. Okay, here I am taking the class name is public class demo. From here to here, this is the scope of class, and here I will take I would say main method, public static void main, and then string args, and then here this is the scope of the main method. Okay, here in this class I'm not created any constructor. In this class I'm not created any class constructor. Okay, simply I am coming here, and then where the file is available, there I am opening cmd java c demo.java. Okay, and then java demo. For calling the constructor, we have use I would say java p demo. If you see here, this is the scope of the class from here to here, and public demo. Public is the access specifier, and a demo and constructor. This is the constructor. This is the constructor. Are you guys clear with my point? So whoever created this constructor, JVM. Okay. So if you not mention any constructor in the class, by default JVM will provide default constructor. This is default constructor. This is default constructor. If you not create any constructor in the class, JVM will provide by default constructor. Okay. So the same point I am writing here. If you not write any constructor, JVM will provide default constructor. Default constructor. Okay. So you can find out a default constructor default constructor by using below command. By using below command. By using below command. The command is java p class name. Class name. Okay. Class name. So here you can mention with, in my case, example, in my case, my class is demo, right? So that's why I'm mentioning java p demo. Java p demo. One is showing. It is about, yeah. So at the time of object creation, at the time of object creation, at the time of object creation, constructor will be executed. Constructor will be executed. Okay, creating the object meaning calling the constructor. If you not write any constructor, JVM will provide default constructor. JVM will provide default constructor. Okay, JVM will provide default constructor. I will show you here. I will take my notepad. Not notepad. I will use this Eclipse here. Okay, these are our programs, right? I'm using this one. I'm not using. Hmm. My class name is driver class, and my class is having the main method. Now I need to create the constructor. If I am not create the any constructor, JVM will provide default constructor. So instead of providing default constructor, I am only creating the constructor. How can I create? So my constructor have the any return type? No return type. Okay. And then next, how should I give the naming convention? Class name and constructor name should be the same. Okay, that is the rule number 2, and which is also method. Every method will contain parenthesis, right? So I need to mention parenthesis. Next, every method will have the scope of the method, right? So we have to mention open curly braces and uh, open curly braces and close curly braces. So here I am passing some dummy message like sysout statement. So here I am passing some message is driver constructor executed. Driver constructor executed. So this is the dummy message I am passing. So instead of this dummy message, you can pass anything. And if I run this file, then should I get this as output? No, no or yes? No. We'll see. Run as Java application, and then if you see anything is coming, nothing is coming. Okay. So whenever you are create the object, at the time object creation meaning calling the constructor only, calling the constructor only. Now my class, how will you create the I would say object with the help of new operator, new and your class name, driver, and then done. So new operator, I have created the object, right? So whenever you are created the object creation meaning calling the constructor only. Now if I execute the file, then should I get the result? Yes, now you can get the result. So run as Java application. Now you are getting the result. Are you guys clear with my point? This object I am not storing anywhere. Why? Because I already created the object. Creating the object meaning calling the constructor only. Calling the constructor only. Calling the constructor only. The main purpose of constructor is which is used to initialize the instance variables of the current class. Okay. This is clear as of now is clear. So I have taken one driver class. Uh, I have taken one I would say constructor. So I am created the object. So no need to call specially whenever you are creating the object. Creation of object meaning calling the constructor only. Calling the constructor only. If you not mention any constructor, by default it will JVM will provide the constructor. If you mention the constructor, then it will consider as a constructor and then it will execute. Okay, and then it will execute. After this, constructors are divided into two types. Constructors are divided into two types. Divided into two types. What are the two types? One is zero parameterized constructor, zero zero parameterized constructor, or we can say default constructor. Zero parameterized constructor. Second one is parameterized constructor. Parameterized parameterized constructor. Okay. Zero parameterized constructor, and second one is the parameterized constructor. Okay. This one also called as default constructor. Default constructor. Default constructor. Okay. Constructors are divided into two types. One is the zero parameterized constructor. Second one is the parameterized constructor. Okay, we'll try to understand like the naming conventions and everything all are similar to like this only. Constructor name and class name should be the same, and constructor don't have any return type. Constructor don't have any return type, and then the constructor are divided into two types. One is the zero parameterized constructor, and second one is the parameterized constructor. We'll try to understand zero parameterized constructor. Zero parameterized constructor meaning no parameters, no parameters. Normally if the demo class, if I take the demo, this is the scope of the constructor, right? This is the scope of, so if you not pass any parameters, then that is called zero parameterized constructor. So this is also example for zero parameterized constructor. This is also example for zero parameterized constructor. Okay. Next thing we have parameterized constructor. In the parameterized constructor, which will have the parameters. What does it mean by parameters? Parameters are the values which will give input to the method. Method constructor. Parameters are the values which will give input to the method. This one is parameterized constructor, and so here we will pass some parameters. The parameters should be like demo. We can pass the parameters like int a, comma, int b, like this. This is the scope of. This is the scope of. This is the scope of constructor, parameterized constructor, right? So simply I'm coming here. Instead of this one, instead of this one, I'm passing some parameters like int a, comma, int b. Okay, I am passing two parameters, and then here what I'm doing, int sum equal to a plus b. Okay, a plus b. What I am doing, I am taking as a parameters two parameters. Inside the constructor, I am doing the addition. I am doing the addition, and then I will take SOP statement. SOP statement which is used for print the message. Print the statement system dot out dot println. You can mention with sout sysout. Can click on control space sysout, control space bar. You will get the shortcut. Some you have to mention here, and then you can save the file. Save the file. Now it is throwing the error. Why it is throwing the error? Here we are passing the parameters. Passing the parameters meaning here also we need to pass the parameters. Okay. So here I passing the parameters are like 10, comma 20. Okay, I am passing the parameters, and then save the file, and then if I execute the file, you will get the result as 30. You will get the result as 30. Are you guys clear with my point? Can you read these all the points? What is the first point? Constructor is a special method in Java which is used to initialize the instance variables of the current class. Next, constructor name and class name should be the same. Next, when we writing the constructor don't have any written type. Uh, Next, at the time of object creation, constructor will be executed and creating the object meaning calling the constructor only. Okay. Next, if you not write any constructor, JVM will provide default constructor. Uh, we can find out default constructor by using the below command. Here default constructor by using below command. Next, constructors. Constructors are divided into two types. What are the two types? The zero parameterized constructor and parameterized constructor. Zero parameterized constructor meaning no parameters, and parameterized constructor meaning we have to pass some parameters. Okay. After this, we have the concept constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. Constructor overloading meaning we can write same signature, signature, same. I would say constructor signature. We can write same constructor signature with different parameters. With different parameters. With different parameters is called constructor overloading. Is called constructor overloading. Is called constructor overloading. Okay. Normally, I will show you. I will take a uh, public class. The test is the name, and here if I take the this is the scope of the class, and here normally we will take the main method, right? Public static void main. Okay, here we'll be having the main method. Okay, and this is the main method, right? So class name and constructor name should be the same. Okay, constructor don't have any written type. Okay, this is the constructor one, and then this is the scope of the constructor. Constructor overloading meaning we can write same constructor, same we can write constructor same constructor signature with different parameters. With different parameters is called constructor overloading. Constructor overloading. We can say here method also. This is the special method, right? We can say method also. Okay, we can write same method signature with the different parameters is called constructor overloading. This is the one file, right? Public class test is the one file. So here this is the constructor. Here if I pass the parameters int a comma int b, now what like based on the parameters it will perform some operation. Like for example here if I do the operation like int sum equal to a plus b. Okay, a plus b. And the next thing is I would say constructor overloading meaning same constructor, same method signature I am taking, same signature I am taking, and I am passing more parameters. Here I am passing int c. Here I will mention in c. Then what is happening? Method overloading. We have to overload. Overloading meaning we are keeping the parameters. Okay, already the constructor is having two parameters. This I would say this is doing the addition operation only. And once again, what I am doing, I am keeping more parameters on the constructor. I can take one more constructor like this also. Like here, I am passing one more parameter that is int d. Int d. Here, what is happening basically? I am passing parameters. passing parameters. Here I have passed only two parameters. Here I have passed only three parameters. Here I have passed four parameters. So like this we can pass n number of parameters. Like this you can pass n number of parameters. Same signature with the different parameters within the class. Within the class is called constructor overloading. We can write same constructor, we can say method signature with the different parameters within the class. Within the class. Within the class is called constructor overloading. We can write same constructor or method signature with the different parameters within the class is called constructor overloading. This is the scope of the class, and here you can take different parameters. Test int a is the one parameter, int b is the one parameter, and so I'm doing, but all methods, all constructors are doing the same operation. All constructors are doing the same operation. This is the doing same operation. This is the doing same operation. Same operation meaning all are doing same action. Okay. Because the same program I will write there and then I will show you how it should be. This is already we have one thing. And then here if I mention to copy this one, constructor overloading. Here I can pass int c, and then here if I mention int c comma int d. Okay, two parameters, three parameters, and then four parameters, c and d, four parameters. And here also we need to mention 2 3 4. Okay, I'm copying this one, and then I'm creating one more object with parameters 20 comma 30, and I'm creating one more object with parameters 20 30 comma 40, 30 and then 40. So this is called constructor overloading. Constructor overload, same method signature with the passing different parameters within the same class, meaning we are overloading. So here which is holding two parameters, here which is holding three parameters. We are overloading, we are adding the parameters. Adding the parameters meaning overloading. Okay, for example your capacity is you can capable to 50 k, but I am keeping adding the weights, more weights. So initially I will add 10 kgs, then total we have the 60 kgs. So I am keep adding the weights. Then what will happen finally? Overloaded. So after 100 kgs, you will be gone. You will be gone, right? So keeping overloading meaning passing the parameters. Okay, within the file only. Within the file only, we are passing the parameters. So this is all about the constructors. After this, we have some keywords. Uh, Difference between method and constructor, only the difference is method have the return type, constructor don't have the any return type. No need to mention void also. Okay, only method will have the return type. In case of constructor don't have the any return type. Constructor don't have any return type. Okay. Next we have the topic, uh, that is this keyword. this keyword. This is the keyword which represents current class objects. Current class objects. This is the keyword which is used to represent the current class objects, which is used to represents which is used to represents the current class objects. Current class objects. Okay. I will show you how this keyword it will use for us for initializing the current class instance variables. For example, mm, here I am taking two variables, two instance, I would say variables, int A, and I am taking int B. Okay, int B. Now here I am taking one method. The method name is, I would say, any method name. Okay, the method data type is void and then print data. Okay, print data. Print data is the method name, and from here to here, this is the scope of the method. This is the scope of the method, right? Here I am passing. Here I am passing two parameters, that is int c, comma int d. Okay, this is the instance method, right? And here what I am doing. So I am passing some parameters here. This method name is instance method. I need to call the instance method. For calling the instance method, we have to create the object for the driver class. New driver, new driver, and then this driver class I am storing in some reference variable name, and this reference variable name is the demo. Here, why it is throwing the error? We need to pass the arguments. Parameters meaning parameters are the values which give input to the method. Arguments meaning we have to give the values input to the constructor. Okay. So here I am passing the values 20, comma 30. Okay. So I am passing the values 20, comma 30, right? So here this is the method print data method. We have to pass the variables in d dot. We have to mention the method name is print dot. The print dot is there on the d dot print dot driver class, and the driver class print data method, and change to driver. uh, okay. Now how to call the print data method, print data, and here I am passing two values 20 and 30. Okay, 20 and 30. Now this is the instance variables, right? Instance variables. So every object will maintain instance variables. This is the method. This instance variables I am not initialized, but I can initialize with the help of this keyword. Are you guys clear with my point? I can initialize. These are the instance variables. So this method is passing the parameters int c and int d. I can initialize the current class instance variables with the help of this keyword. This dot a equal to c, and then what does it mean? What does it mean? I am taking the C and D as parameters, and I am initializing the current class instance variables with the help of this keyword. With the help of this keyword. Are you guys clear with my pointer? So this is called initialization of instance variables. Initialization. of instance variables. Instance variables. Are you guys clear with my point? Here I am not initialize any values. I am initializing the instance variables with the help of this keyword. So what the this keyword here it is doing? So this keyword is the keyword which is used to represent the current class instance variables. Current class instance variables which is used to initialize the object of the instance variables. Every object will maintain copy of the instance variables and this keyword which is used to current class object which is used to current class object. Are you guys clear with my point? So C is the parameter we are taking as an input. This input I am initializing with current class reference variables, instance variables, current class instance variables. Similarly, I will do the same for this dot b equal to d. Okay, and then now I will perform some operation that is int sum equal to a plus b. Okay, and then system dot out dot println. I will mention sum. I will mention sum. Okay, I will mention sum. Okay, next thing, this is clear. I am taking the parameters. With the parameters, I am initializing the instance variables. So the main purpose of the I would say object, the main purpose is this keyword. The main purpose is which is used to represents the current class object. Current class object. So I am taking the parameters. I am initializing the instance variables by using this keyword. By using this keyword. Okay. Now simply I am passing two parameters. Then I can print here. I will make here. I will mention sum of a value and b value. Okay. Now I'm save the file and I can run the file. Then we'll see the result. Sum of value a and b value is 50. 50. Are you guys clear with my point? This is the keyword which is used to which is used to which is used to represent the current class object. Current class object. Current class object. So that is all about this keyword. And after this, we have the access specifiers concept. Access specifiers concept. So the first question is in the access specifier. They will ask what is the purpose of the access specifier. Okay, basically access specifiers which are used to specify the specify the accessibility of our classes, comma our methods, comma our variables, comma classes or constructors, our constructors, constructors. Are you guys clear with my point? The main purpose of access specifiers, which are used to specify the accessibility of our classes, our methods, our variables, and our constructors. Okay. In Java, we have four access specifiers. In Java, we have four access specifiers. What are the four access specifiers? First one is public, and second one is private, and third one is protected, and fourth one is default. Fourth one is default, right? Okay, we'll try to understand one by one. First, we'll go with public. We'll go with public. So first, the definition for the public access specifier is which is used to specify the global access. Global access. Global access of our classes. Next, variables, methods, and constructors. Okay. Okay, I will show you I will take two files and then I will show you how like the public we will use like that. For example, first we'll try to understand with the class. Okay, here my class name is demo, right? Here my class name is demo. I'm deleting the entire the thing. I'm deleting entire the thing, and I will mention private. And my class name is class keyword, and my class name is demo. And from here to here, this is the scope of class. And here I am taking the main method. Here I am taking the main method, right? So this is the class. I am saving the class, and then I am opening the command prompt. And here I would say here we have to take the main method. The main method also I will take public static void main string aux. This is the scope of main method. I'm saving this one, and then I'm going to my where the file is available. I'm going that location, open command cmd, and then I'm access java c demo.java. Okay, so what it is showing the error? What is this error? What does it mean? Modifier private is not allowed for the classes. Whenever we are making public, meaning anybody can access. Anybody can access. So if you are mentioned private, so JVM will also don't access. Why? Because we are mentioning the private. Private meaning the file we cannot access anywhere. We can access within the file only, but that file you cannot access anywhere. If you are mentioned the private, if you are mentioned the private as a class name, JVM also don't access. Why? Because we are mentioning as a private. Private meaning JVM also not accessible. Okay. That's why we have to mention always for the class access specifier. Always we have to mention public only. Public only. Okay. So always. So that's the point here I am writing. We can write public as class. Okay. Public as class. Next thing is this is the demo class, and next the methods you can write. For example, I will go with the methods. For example, I will in this case I will use Notepad IDE. This is the driver class, and then here we have the main method, and then are you guys clear with first? The first point is public with class. Okay, second one we are trying with public with I would say public with variables. So for example, if I take int a, my access specifier is public. Okay, public, and next thing is public int b. Then if I mention like this, as you can mention like this, you can mention like this, and we can initialize and we can perform some operations. Then what I'm saying here, so public we can write variables also, public as variables also. So that is the second point. Okay, second point is we can write public as variables. We can write we can write public as variables. And next, third point also we can write public as methods. Next, fourth point is we can write public as constructors. Okay, constructors. Public meaning which is used to specify the global access of our classes. So we can access across. Okay, outside person also can able to access whenever we are mentioning the public. Outside person also can able to access. This is clear. Public is the access specifier which is used to specify the global access of our classes, variables, methods, and constructors. Next, we have the private access specifier. Private access specifier. I will mention private. And so private is also access specifier, which is used to specify local access, which is used to specify local access, of classes, comma variables, comma methods, comma constructors, Okay. Now I will show you. So should I write the class name? Should I write the class name as private? No, we cannot write. We cannot write private as class. Private as class. Next point. Next point with respect to variables. With respect to variables, should I write like this? Mm, where uh, instead of here, should I write like this? Private. Yes, you can write like this. You can write like this. So the same thing here I am mentioning. So remaining, we can write private as a private as variable, and we can write third point. We can write private as methods, and the fourth one we can write private as constructor. Okay, we can write private as constructor. Next thing is we have the two access specifiers. One is the protected and second one is the default. Protected and default, which is used to access the class members within the package So every we will create the package, right? For example, this is the package. If you mention the package, you can access within the package. We can access within the package. Okay, so in the about the protector, we have the packages concept. So there we will get the clarity on the protector. Okay, The main purpose of the protected access specifier, which is used to access the class members. Class members means these all the things. Class members meaning might be the class, might be the variables, might be the methods, might be the constructors. We can access within the package. In the package level, we can access all the class members. These all are called class members. Okay. So next one we have the default one. Default access specifier. Default access specifier basically, if you not mention if you not mention if you not mention any access specifier, then by default it will consider as a default access specifier. If you not mention any access specifier, by default it will considered as default access access specifier. So this is all the four access specifier. Okay. So can you please read this the first line? Access specifier, which are used to specify the accessibility of our classes, our methods, and variables. Next, we have four access specifiers. What are the four? Build, protected, default. What does it mean by public? Uh, Next, uh, ఏదో VPN సౌండ్ సౌండ్ వస్తుంది నాకు వినిపించలేదు. ఆ ఫోన్ వైబ్రేషన్ కదా VPN సేమ్ అంతా ఉంది గట్టిగా తెల్లరా. ఏంటి విచ్ ఈజ్ యూజ్ టు నెక్స్ట్ we cannot write private as a class. Next, next, which is used to access the class members within the package. Next, any access specifier by default it will consider as a default access specifier. Okay, so today we have covered basically three. One is about constructors, this keyword, and access specifiers. All three are very important. Okay, all three concepts are very important, right? So everybody, please practice multiple times. This keyword we will use regularly in EM. Okay, please practice multiple times. Whatever you are saying, every word is very important. Okay, so please practice multiple times. So this is all about